I'm excited to talk about pop punk in 2023, what I'm hoping for, what's been confirmed, what I'm predicting, all that stuff. I'm going to do this while I'm driving around, doing one of my favorite things on a Saturday, going to Goodwill's and searching for CDs. Probably one of the most anticipated releases in pop punk next year, and that's the new Blink 182 album. Like it or not, I think a lot rides on this album in terms of how pop punk is going to be viewed. If they release something that sucks, it's going to be an unfortunate blow to pop punk. I mean, I already kind of feel like a Disney adult for liking pop punk. And if a band like Blink 182 releases something that's terrible, it's just going to make it even more weird to like pop punk as much as I do into my late 20s. But if this album ends up being amazing, like imagine Billboard or Rolling Stone writing some amazing review on Blink 182's next album, it has potential to bring pop punk a little bit back into the mainstream because the big players like Green Day and The Offspring and Blink have just been releasing borderline stinkers and kind of proving people right that pop punk isn't to be taken seriously, which is unfortunate. So it could be really good for the scene. And you have bands like The Story So Far who are touring with Blink 182, potentially creating new fans. I mean, The Story So Far was my gateway drug into pop punk. It's funny that 10 years later, The Story So Far could be other people's gateway drug into pop punk. Like it or not, there's just a ton of hype around this album. It's Tom's first album back since Neighborhoods. A lot of eyes on this one, and you can see that by the number of concert tickets that sold out. You know, optimistically, I think maybe it's going to be as good as Neighborhoods. I don't expect that, though. I think it's going to be much worse than Neighborhoods. I don't have high hopes for Blink 182 to revitalize the pop punk genre, unfortunately. Next, this is also confirmed. Knuckle Puck is going to be releasing a new album next year. I did a goofy little track review on Knuckle Puck's newest thing. I'm hoping that Knuckle Puck revitalizes my interest in them. More or less confirmed is a new Cant Swim album. I really like Chris's vocals, and I like their blend of hardcore and punk and pop punk and pop. So I'm excited to see what they come out with. I believe it's more or less confirmed that The Story So Far is going to release something in 2023. It's been a long time since Proper Dose. A lot of people loved Proper Dose. I'm one of those people. Not my favorite Story So Far record. That goes to What You Don't See. I like the direction that The Story So Far was going, and I'm excited to see what they do next. I'm not emotionally attached to The Story So Far, and I wouldn't be surprised if this ended up being the last Story So Far record, but we will see what 2023 brings for The Story So Far. This is confirmed unless something crazy happens. Hot Mulligan's going to release a new album next year. They released a single earlier this year called Drink Milk and Run. Awesome song, in my opinion. I love Hot Mulligan. They're one of my favorite bands right now. They're also one of the few bands that my wife gets excited about. She was excited to come with me to the Wonder Years Carly Cosgrove Hot Mulligan show this year, but maybe a summer release for Hot Mulligan's album. At the rate they're going, I expect this to be better than You'll Be Fine, and I expect it to be even better than I Won't Reach Out to You. I want to say that Hot Mulligan's new album is probably my most anticipated release of next year. My second most anticipated release is going to be Heart Attack Man's new album. I think it's time that I go to a Heart Attack Man live show. I just have missed out every time they've come through. I don't know if Heart Attack Man has the potential to blow up in the scene, but they've been headlining. Fake Blood was huge. Their vinyl records are really sought after, which is interesting. Who knows? Maybe they release something that knocks people's socks off and they go the route of Pup, because I thought that Pup was never going to break into borderline mainstream status, yet here we are. Neck Deep is due for a new album. It's been a couple years. I expect this album to not be very good. I can't miss an opportunity to roast Neck Deep a little bit. Last couple albums have not been my cup of tea. We'll see what happens with them. They're crushing it, so don't listen to me. Don't try and please me, Neck Deep. You guys do you, and I'll listen to your new record no matter what. Bearings put out an Instagram post that they're sitting on their best album to date. We will see. Blue in the Dark was amazing. Hello It's You was pretty good. Super excited to hear Bearings' next album. Very excited to see them live next time they come through. I think they've got all of the makings to be like the next Grayscale. Maybe they already are the next Grayscale, but what they need is an album to explode, and maybe this is the one. Now, I don't know if this is confirmed at all. Seems about time Waster released a new album. I feel like I've seen pictures of them in the studio all the time. I don't know what's going on with Waster. I hear that they need to get their act together, but I would love to see a new Waster album next year. If that was to come out, that would be highly anticipated for me. I feel like I'm the only one who loved Identity Crisis. and also have loved all of their releases so far, even the singles that they come out with. A band that I am not excited for at all to release their 5th studio album is Waterparks. Never gotten into them, but they're a big part of the scene, so I thought I'd mention them here. I expect that I will not like this album, but I'm sure plenty of people will. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people at their headlining tour next year as well. So, not sure if this is true, but I have seen talks that Real Friends is going to release an album in 2023. I'm a big fan of their latest EP with Cody from Youth Fountain as the lead singer. I think that they have potential to get even bigger than they were before with Cody as the lead singer. I love the new sound, and I'm really looking forward to a full-length release from them in 2023. Semi-related, Youth Fountain said he's getting back to the studio. I just saw an Instagram story that it's an acoustic EP. Always excited for more Youth Fountain. I think it's asking a little much to expect an entirely new record this year. If there's a full-length announcement from Youth Fountain, I will be over the moon and super excited to hear that. Next hot release, Paramore. Of course, can't not talk about Paramore's new album coming up. 2 really good singles. I expect this album to be awesome. I've liked their last 3 albums. I like their early stuff as well. So, of course, I'm going to be looking forward to this album in 2023, and I'm sure I'm not the only one who's excited to see what they come out with. Next up, though, Lurk has been posting pictures in the studio, so I expect a new Lurk album next year. Around the Sun was a slept-on release. I really loved that record. If you like Drug Church, check out Lurk. You might really enjoy them like I did. Excited to see what they come out with next. A lot of energy in that act, a lot of energy in that album, a lot of energy in Lurk. I don't know if they're going to release a new album next year, but I think they're due, and that's Capstan. I really loved their last 2 records. I like the direction they're going, and I like their style of music, so I would be thrilled if they released another album in 2023. Honestly, I expect more of the same from them, and that's not a problem with me. Green Day has apparently been in the studio, so I think we can expect another album from them. Their last album was really bad because Anthony Fantano said so, but I happen to also agree that that's not a great album. Haven't been stoked about a Green Day release in a long time. One of those old curmudgeons. Green Day used to be good. When will Green Day go back to their old sound? We can hope. Trophy Eyes is about due for a new album as well. Made a video about Trophy Eyes' new sound. I'm actually a big fan of their new sound, even though Chemical Miracle is my favorite album from them. I don't expect them to make another Chemical Miracle. I expect them to just iterate on American Dream. That's fine with me. So I'm excited to see what they come out with. And I would love to see them tour in America next year. That would be the dream. I've seen them when they came through with Seaway, and that was awesome. I would just love to see them again because they put on such an amazing show. Speaking of Seaway, I just want to hear something from Seaway next year. See what happens. I don't really know what's going on there. I know that there's some drama with the manager, and they're having issues with contracts and rights and stuff, so I hope that they can figure that out. Has it been 2 years since Vibe? I actually don't know. I swear Sum 41 was going to release an album this year, but it's got to come out next year, right? It's going to be called Heaven and Hell. Excited to hear what they're going to put out. I really love Sum 41. I like all of their releases. Cheesy or not, I like every single Sum 41 release. One of those legacy bands that I still think has the chops to put out great music. Spanish Love Songs is probably going to release a new album next year. Boy, am I excited for another Spanish Love Songs album. I don't think it can possibly live up to Brave Faces Everyone or even Schmaltz. Both of those are borderline masterpieces, if not full-out masterpieces. So I'm going to temper my expectations for this one, despite being very, very, very excited for a new Spanish Love Songs release. Movements might put out an album next year. They released a single called Cherry Thrill. I actually like the sound of it. I like all of Movement's releases so far, and they're going to evolve like any band, and they're going to create something that's going to piss off a lot of their old fans, but I am not one of those people. I like their new sound, so I'm excited to see what they do next. The next 3 are a couple bands that I have no idea if they're going to put out an album, but they are due for one. First up, that is Charmer. Charmer released an awesome album called Ivy a few years ago. They're due for another one. I think that they're an awesome band. Also got a band called Forest Green on the same record label. They put out an album called In Waves that I found super interesting and engaging. Perfect amount of heaviness that I like in music. Charmer and Forest Green just don't have the mainstream appeal, so I don't think they're going to ever blow up, unfortunately, but I think they could definitely get a cult following. And also, Sincere Engineer released a 4-song EP last year, so I don't know if this is asking a lot to expect another full album this year. It's been 2021 was when they released their last full album. So hopefully we see a new release from them this year. All right, everyone, that's all I can think of for 2023 upcoming albums. I'm sure that I missed a few. Let me know in the comments if you're super excited for an album and are pissed at me for missing it. And I also want to take a minute to just thank you guys for watching these videos at all. It's shocking that I have any views. The scene has fizzled out a little bit and it's not taken seriously. I still really love the music, and I know that I'm not alone in loving this genre. So thank you for commenting and liking and subscribing. All of that really helps out the channel and means a lot to me. It really does make my day. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.